Hello guys, welcome back to the Crew Waltron. Driving all cars, part number 4. The Alfa Romeo 8C Competizione, and as you can see, perfect and or performance and circuit spec. 2 specs available for this car. Sort of an Italian medium or large sports car. Interior look. You can sort of still see the speedometer and all, so it's not really ruined with the latest patch. This one, as some with some they did. .450 brake horsepower. That's what we're looking at, if I'm not mistaken, a 4.7 V8. Bit more aggressive look on the performance spec. Bit more carbon here and there. Carbon wings, carbon spoilers, stuff like that. And then you have the circuit spec, which sort of comes with a lowered suspension and a big carbon wing, which in the circuit specs, well, you can't mess about too much. You can change the rims and the colors, but usually those wings and all that or body kits are there and you cannot change them. So I'm taking a look at the car. What does it do? 290 kilometers an hour it should do in full stock. Okay. Pretty sticky. Handling seems to be okay. But it's not long gears, it seems, so acceleration test might not be that good. And it probably also isn't the fastest of the lot. Eventually we'll get there, but 290. Like many of the cars in this game, or at least quite a few. Lower gears kinda okay, higher gears long and slow. That seems to be the case with this one as well. But we'll see. Acceleration tests, that's sort of what we're doing here in a 1 mile drag race. 2 checkpoints on this, well, I sort of made a free drive challenge for it. 2 checkpoints, quarter mile and half a mile. At the first checkpoint, a quarter mile, I will hit the nitro bar, use a full nitro bar and go from there to the finish and see what time we do. This is a performance spec, so we're looking 23, 24 seconds, something like that. The fastest we tested so far is in the first video, the Abarth 500 with a time of 23.3 seconds, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, play. That's what we're gonna do. Bit of wheel spin in first gear. Seems to be going in second and third. But they're all long gears. Nitro, not extremely powerful, like it is in some cars. But it does the job, I guess. 340 something at the finish. Speed wise it is. 24.0. Kinda surprisingly that time. Seeing it is the more powerful Alfa Romeo in this game. and compared to the 4C in performance spec, it does exactly the same time, 24.0. So acceleration can be considered not that good, I guess, if it's only doing the same time as his little brother, the 4C. Let's see how it handles and what kind of speed we can get out of it on the downhill part of this track. Brakes not that super good, but it's okay. Or I might just outbrake myself, that's also possible. Bit of oversteer here and there, a bit of understeer as well, going into the corner, so it's probably one of those cars that suffer a bit from both. And there are quite a few of those in the game as well. But yeah, there are like 86 or 87 full stocks and over 320 different specs, so can't be all good. Although it sticks pretty good to the road. S corner, bit of oversteer, which you can easily control. But the acceleration isn't that good, and that's mainly because the gear seems to be pretty long. Let's see what we can do on the downhill here. We do not hit a car or something. 360, bit of nitro, do the jump and a bit of more nitro. Landings, so 390 something. So also top wise, top speed wise, it's not really OP on. I think we even got over 400 in the 4C. Although that is a newer car compared to this one. This one is a couple of years older. .238. It handles kinda okay, if not, you can even call it good, I guess, but the biggest con to me it seems to be the acceleration. Now, there are quite some videos out there with the circuit spec of this thing, and the reason for that is before the wild run, this is probably one of the better circuit specs around. Meanwhile, they have patched a few cars here and there. They also brought some new cars, but still, in circuit spec, it still should be good. Might be suffering a bit from oversteer or something, but that's something that I do not dislike, let's put it that way. I'd rather have an oversteer car which you sort of can correct, instead of an understeered car which you sort of have to anticipate on by braking before the corner, so that you can at least try to avoid it. Here we have a bit of a problem again with the acceleration. Third gear, I think it was still spinning wheels by the sound of it. Nitro is kind of powerful, but let's see. 23.6. That is kind of a disappointing time, I must say. This is the first circuit spec that we test, so nothing to compare with yet in this series. But it's even slower than the about 500 in performance specs, which is 0.3 of a second faster. So acceleration is definitely a con for this car, both in performance as in circuit spec. This seems to have second, third gear, pretty fast acceleration actually, but probably the higher gear that will be longer again. Brakes are pretty good. Yeah, it immediately brakes. Brakes are actually really good. And it sticks to the road, especially in circuit spec. If you go a bit too fast, you might, here you go, sort of get into a slide, a bit of oversteer, but it is pretty sticky. And really good brakes. So the brakes are definitely a pro for this car. And you can really throw it in the corner, so in general the handling is a pro. This corner also pretty smooth. Jumps is a bit of a different story, I think. Although it seems to be okay in the circuit spec. Not on two wheels like in the performance. Oh, bam. Doing over 400 km an hour, which is sort of normal on that downhill section there. It's normal because this is a circuit spec. They are supposed to go over 400 km an hour, but decent reaction as well. Yep, definitely not a bad car in circuit spec. It's a bit less in performance, I must say, but the main pro probably be the braking, which also of course gives you sort of a better handling if you can count on the brakes. So brakes and handling sort of a plus, acceleration a bit of a con. That's sort of the conclusion, and the best spec out of these two, for sure the circuit one. That will be it for this video. I will see you guys in the next one, and bye for now.